This is insane. The Boston Celtics have absolutely dodged a bullet. Back in 2022 in that offseason, the Boston Celtics reportedly offered a package of Jaylen Brown and others for Kevin Durant. But we never knew what that package was until today, so we are going to get into all of that. And we are also going to talk about some pre-game updates for the Boston Celtics as they look to take on the Phoenix Suns at home. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video here on Celtics Digest. I'm Patrick Billings, and before we get into anything, if you guys are loving the content that Bruce and I are dropping here on Celtics Digest, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. A lot of you guys are watching our videos, and you're not subscribed. All the support is much appreciated. We love all the comments that you guys are dropping. I love to see what you guys have to say. So please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You love what we're doing over here on Celtics Digest. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. I mean, of course, again, more Kevin Durant and Jaylen Brown talk, but there were some missing pieces, and we finally get to talk about that today. But the Boston Celtics, that was a close one, trading for Kevin Durant. As I said in the introduction, that there was a trade package that the Boston Celtics had offered the Brooklyn Nets, but we never heard what that package was back in 2022, and it was finally talked about. If we go ahead and look at some of these here, the Boston Celtics have offered a Jaylen Brown package to the Brooklyn Nets for Kevin Durant, which Brooklyn turned down and countered. And as we can see on that tweet there, it was July 25th, 2022. So now let's look ahead to today, which is during the 2022 offseason. The Boston Celtics offered Jaylen Brown, Derrick White, and a first-round pick to the Nets for Kevin Durant. And I mean, that's why I said we dodged a bullet. The Boston Celtics absolutely dodged a bullet because we know how perennial Jaylen Brown and Derrick White have been since that trade rumor and that package was offered. And I mean, it's unbelievable what the Celtics have been able to do since that 2022 offseason. And if we go ahead and look at some of the stats here from Jaylen Brown from that 2022-2023 season, that was right after that trade package was offered. Jaylen Brown was able to average 26.6 points per game, 23 points per game, and 22.4 points per game. And I mean, of course, they had the additions of Jrue Holiday and Kristaps Porziņģis, so the points per game do go down, but other facets of his game did elevate. But a couple awards that Jaylen Brown was able to win within this time: Finals MVP, NBA champion, and 3 straight All-Stars in this span. So I mean, you should be happy if you're a Boston Celtics fan with some of those accolades from Jaylen Brown. I mean, he's going to keep on adding to them, but within those 3 seasons, I think he really took it personally and really made his point that he wants to be a Boston Celtic for life. But then if we also go ahead and look at some of Derrick White's stats, as we know how perennial he's been for the Boston Celtics, his points per game has been able to elevate as he's really changed his game, being one of the best 3-point shooters, especially off the catch, and able to catch any type of pass and put it up and make a 3. But as we see his points per game, 12.4 points per game to 15.2 to 16.4. I mean, if you ask me, he's really played at an all-star level. I think he is definitely a little bit of an underrated guy. He's definitely seen as a 4th option for the Boston Celtics, of course, with Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum, and Kristaps Porziņģis. But you could flip-flop him and KP if you want. I would have no problem or any issues with you saying that at all. But he has been a big part of this Boston Celtics team and a huge reason to why they have elevated their play in the last 3 seasons. But a couple things that Derrick White has been able to add to his resume is, of course, NBA champion and a 2-time All-NBA defensive second team, in which he's going to add to this season. I would be very surprised if he is not on another defensive team after this season, let alone first team. I think that he is well deserving of that, as he has constantly been one of the best shot blocking guards in the NBA. And like we said, he is also one of the best 3-point shooters in the league, and let alone Celtics history, as we know that he had just broken the record for most 3-pointers made by a Celtic in a season, with 249 3-pointers made. And you see that Jayson Tatum and Peyton Pritchard are right behind his tail. They're going to try and catch up as much as they can, but it doesn't seem likely, as Derrick White's been shooting the ball very well. Jayson Tatum, of course, going to get his shots, and Peyton Pritchard might be able to make a little bit of a comeback as the season coming to an end, and he's going to be getting a lot more minutes and keep pushing for those 6 man of the year. But Derrick White and Jaylen Brown, of course, have been a perennial part to this Boston Celtics team, and I really believe that the Celtics dodged a bullet, and Brad Stevens is constantly making the right moves. You know, you have the opportunity to trade for a top 25 player of all time, one of the best scorers of all time, and you know, the Brooklyn Nets say no to a great package that definitely could have changed their franchise, but instead changed the Celtics franchise. And as they're looking for back-to-back championships, I think Brad Stevens definitely made the right move. Kevin Durant definitely having some issues over there in Phoenix, as we are seeing tonight, as he is going to have some issues as well as we get into some game day updates. The small injury report tonight for the Celtics game against the Phoenix Suns at home. Not too much going on for the Boston Celtics on the injury report side. Al Horford has missed a few games. Jaylen Brown is still dealing with some of that knee pain, so he is currently a game time decision for tonight. And Kevin Durant, funny enough, is not playing tonight. So, of course, the two guys that we talked about being in a trade package consistently from 2022 and now to 2025, as there was more rumors about it as well in the offseason. But they are both on the injury report. Kevin Durant, again, not playing. And Jaylen Brown, I do believe that he will play. He did get that extra day of rest the other night, as the Boston Celtics did have a game against the Heat and then a rest day. And now we look forward to the Phoenix Suns, as they are a very familiar foe of the Boston Celtics, as they had just played about a week ago. And let's go into how that game was. The Celtics did not have Jayson Tatum that game, and people like Jaylen Brown and Kristaps Porziņģis were able to get hot and help the Celtics pull away in a humongous win by the Boston Celtics, in which I believe will happen again tonight. I think it'll be good for Jaylen Brown to get into this game, and I've been really big on guys getting their connection and really being able to play together and just really get ready for the playoffs. And just, you know, you got to have that connection. When a lot of guys are injured and not playing in the lineup, you kind of start to lose it a little bit. It'll come back, but it's not where you want it to really be, especially if you're looking to go for back-to-back championships, which hasn't happened in a very long time. But the Boston Celtics should be able to handle business tonight, as guys like Luke Kornet have been playing out of their mind. He has been one of the biggest game changers for the Boston Celtics. And Brian Scalabrine said it against the Heat, that he's honestly playing like an all-star. And it's funny to say, but the Celtics got a steal in Luke Kornet, and he's just been quite the rebound grabber, especially on the offensive end, giving the Celtics multiple second-chance opportunities to go out and score, giving the ball to Jayson Tatum, who's been playing some great basketball as well. But the Boston Celtics still have a tough game ahead of them, as they are playing Devin Booker and, of course, Bradley Beal, but no Kevin Durant tonight. But, guys, if you love what we talked about in this video, please go ahead and drop a comment and drop a like. I would love to hear what you guys have to think about this trade package. I personally think the Celtics dodged a bullet not getting Kevin Durant, which could sound crazy looking back at 2022, but you see what the Celtics have been able to do since then. It's been nothing but greatness. But, guys, with that being said, we'll see you in the next video, and go Boston Celtics.